welcome back to the videos. I can hear now, so that's like a nice novel change. Plan for today is stiff leg deadlifts, slingshot bench, neutral root pull-ups, incline bench and Jefferson curls. So a bit of like a, well, it's basically deadlift and bench. Obviously stiff leg. I just come back from the gym, and that's where I've just done some hamstring curls. So I guess I've done a little bit already. The plan today, so the most I've done so far is 60. So I don't know how much more than that I'm going to be able to do, but I shall give it a go and we'll see. I think I already told you guys, I got the okay from the consultant and the physio to basically just start reloading everything now. So there isn't really much in the way of actual input from the physio now. It's basically just get strong and flexible again. I say flexible again, I was never that flexible. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to start off with these stiff leg deadlifts. I'm thinking in my head, maybe 80, maybe 100. I don't know, to be honest with you. Then after these, we'll go with the slingshot bench, where I think I'll probably be looking at maybe 120 for 5s or something. I also found my chalk. I still haven't found the original chalk that I had, but this one will do for now. So, stiff leg deadlifts. That feels fine. My ego is like, we're sticking with the plate on, but my brain is saying, just go 80 first, see how that is. That'll be a 20 kilo improvement, obviously, which is progress. And apparently, rushing rehab is probably not the best idea in the world. And because I'm so deconditioned anyway, this will probably be sufficient to actually get some stimulus from it. I don't know. I think I might. I don't know. Anyway, it's the end of the day today. So now that I can train rather than exercise, I'm back in a situation similar to what I was before, of when I do these sessions, I'm just knackered for the rest of the day. So I'm finding it easier to train at the end of the day instead of the beginning. Also, this is new. So I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't just have whey or I get a really bad stomach. So what we've got is protein water. Not sponsored, should sponsor me. It's 20 grams of protein with no dairy in it and nothing else. I've got half of one of these, so it's 10 grams of protein and half a bottle of basically like Tesco value Lucozade. So it's like 10 carbs, 10 protein. And loads of electrolytes. I just find it really helpful when the weather's warmer and whilst I'm in a slight deficit. I just find it helpful for the second half of the session. I know my sessions are so small, but like, I'm so deconditioned, it feels like I'm doing loads. Like logically, I know it's not loads, but that doesn't change literally just how it feels. Why am I putting chalk on? It's only 80 kilos. Anyway. So I'll see how this feels. Whether I go double overhand, hook grip, I don't know. Let's start double overhand. that was harder than I would like to admit it was. I think if I'm using my brain, that should probably be my top set for the day. So then I've got a set of 10 minus 20%. It's just caught 60 kilos for simplicity. A double overhand. Yeah, just caught 60 kilos for simplicity. It's 20%. Would be 64 kilos. But I'm just being lazy. And then what I'll probably do is next week look to do 100 for 5 and then 80 for 10 and so on like that, and just gradually add a bit more each week and a bit more and a bit more until I start to get to where I'm actually challenged from a muscular perspective and not just from a, oh god, this is heavy, I've not done this in so long. So 10 reps. I think I'm stood right in the crack. Hey. I can't believe how hard that is. I like literally got sweat dripping off me. I mean, it is warm, but so weak. Done that. So next up, slingshot. So this is, I said the other day about fitness being a problem. This is an example of it. So like, to be fair, if that was like heavy set of 10 stiff leg deadlifts, that would make sense. Well, I suppose technically that is for me. I mean, it's a PB. It's a PB. Next up, slingshot. My beard's growing back, you know, as they do, so I can actually clip this on properly now. Get a bit of patches. So, I've not done a slingshot for ages. The rationale for putting it in, I wanted the bench in, but also I just like it. I realise that's not the most profound reason. Not like, this is really good for programming because of X, Y, Z. Like, there are benefits. Right now, the benefit to me is that I like it. That's literally it. So, plan is a set of 5 at about a 7-ish, and then drop down 10% and do another set of 5. I've got like 1 out of 10 DOMs in my front delts. So like enough that I'm going to be careful with the load, but not so much to justify like skipping anything, and I know that it's just because of the session that I did the other day is quite novel, being closer to training than just exercise. That's good. Like, it's not as good as like Monster, but it's like 7 p.m. Cool. So the other day, I went up to 120 for one, and then 105 for 5, and then 95 for 5, or something like that. Music's dead. That's weird. So for this, I'd probably be looking at something between that top triple, and that single. So the triple of 105, single of 120, somewhere between the two is going to be the sweet spot for this slingshot set. So I'll try the slingshot on 100, see how that feels. It might be that I do a rep with this and decide that this is going to be the top set. My limit, my head, is 120 because that's what I did for a single the other day. So it shouldn't be that close. Maybe a slingshot wasn't the best idea because I am dripping in sweat. Feels fine. I think I will go 110. Actually, no. Yes, I will go 110. Yeah. So I was just thinking, in my head, I was thinking, am I benching 4 days a week or 5? 3 or 4 days a week. If it was 4, I was going to go a bit lighter, but it's only 3. And my third session is, I think, close grip bench, cambered bar bench, and that's it. And it's more of like hypertrophy-esque. So I think I should be fine with this volume-wise. Right. There's like a ego thing about chalk. People are like, you shouldn't use chalk, you should get stronger grip. And whilst I do agree that I do need a stronger grip, for benching, grip is not the limiting factor. But it's warm here. Like, it's the UK and we're not used to heat. So I like the heat, but I'm sweating quite a bit. My hands are slippery when they're sweaty, obviously. I don't want to risk dropping the bar just because I didn't use a bit of chalk. So that's my rationale there. I've been struggling the last couple of days with my foot and ankle. You know, the one that I said about potentially being broken, fractured. I bought some shoes, some trainers with real soft bottoms, just as a temporary fix, but I ordered my normal size and one size up because I thought my feet look a bit swollen. Even the one size up I couldn't get on. So I was hoping to have them so I could start walking more, but clearly not. So I've ordered another pair, another 2 pairs, 2 more sizes up. Right, let's go. So plan is 5 at 7-ish. I'd say that was spot on. Definitely think I could have done 3 more. So yeah, struggling with my feet and walking, so my steps are down a little bit the last few days. Because my weight is staying relatively stable. I might not look it to you guys, but I am visibly, to my eye, leaner, and my measurements have changed. My arms are bigger, my chest is bigger, my legs are bigger, my waist is smaller. So something positive is happening. I'm starting to get veins back in my arms. So like, although it's nothing drastic, it is working. I'm just following what Macro Factor tells me to do. I've got it set to the collaborative mode. So what that means is it basically will tell you calories to hit your goal, and then you can choose the individual macros. So I think it's like 225 protein, about 3,400 calories or something. And I basically just stick with that. End of the week, it will tell me to go up or down or stay the same. And that's it, really. I'm not super strict on specific macros in terms of like the protein, carb, fat. I try and eat a minimum 200 grams of protein. So I weigh 100 kilos, 2 times that, 200. That's like my minimum target. Ideally, I'd hit about 220, 225, because I get a lot of like trace proteins. So even like this I think, this is collagen. So like some collagen protein is not bad. You won't want to be relying on that as your primary source. So that's why it's like a tiny bit higher, because I have quite a lot of carbs. So with those foods, it often brings protein. So like potatoes, rice, oats, vegetables, stuff like that. It's like all little trace bits. So like 200 grams protein from protein sources, and then I get like another 20, 30 grams or so from everything else. It's like this, 10 grams. Not really a meal, but yeah. So yeah, feet have been bothering me a lot. Like I did manage yesterday or the day before, I did 20 minutes on the bike. Super slow, not impressive, but it was something, and it is progress. It's weird, like being like a complete, having the body of a kind of a beginner, but not at the same time. So like with this lifting stuff, I'm still lifting a reasonable load. I feel like a beginner. With the cardio stuff, same thing again. Of like I'm looking at the split on my heart rate, I'm like, dear God, this sucks. But it's a step in the right direction. It's all progress, isn't it? Right then. I'm gonna get this in the bin from here, especially since it's been lid shut. So, one more set. Not sweating so much now. Clearly not working as hard. Nice. That was alright. Can't even get this off. I am wondering, if to change exercises. So so today's Thursday. On Friday, it's cambered bar bench and close grip bench, and I'm wondering about swapping the two around. So doing close grip bench today, since I've already got this set up here, and doing cambered bar and incline on Saturday. So then, because I already am going to have to change the bar, so changing the setup around, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going rogue, changing my program, literally just from a practicality perspective, because I don't know if you remember, I said the reason that I'm doing slingshot bench is enjoyment. It's not because it's a specific thing for my programming. So it doesn't matter if the slingshot is today, if the close grip bench is today or another day, does it? Time to soften around. Just need to make a note. I know what that means. So neutral grip pull-ups. I don't think sets of 6 are happening, to be honest with you. This is the other thing as well. Just before the competition, maybe like 2 weeks out or something, you can probably find it if you look back through the videos, I did a set of 8 pull-ups with 10 kilos on me, and now it's such a difference. So for these, I'm trying to have my feet out in front of me, mainly so I don't kick that. So the plan is 2 sets of 6 at a 7. Eesh. Well, that is disappointing. That's so bad. So I've done about 2,000 steps today. So that's my target for the week was an average of 4,000. But I've obviously not hit that. Saying that though, I do have some positives, and on that front as well. I've not taken any morphine, codeine or tramadol this week. The only painkiller I've taken is paracetamol. So that is progress. So that's probably contributing as well to the pain. But my brain feels better than it has for a while. I have got a bit of like a tremor. I'm not sure 100% of the reasons for that. There's a few things it could be. I've been having 2 and sometimes 3 monsters a day. I think they're like 150 milligrams of caffeine. That's a lot of caffeine. I've been having them essentially offsetting the drowsiness of the stronger painkillers. So now the drowsiness and the come down, the depressant effects of them are kind of going. I'm now getting the effects of the stimulants. I'm not saying this is exactly what's happening, but this is what it feels like. So what I'm going to do is, I think tomorrow I'll have 2 monsters. So that's like a stable. Saturday I'll have 1. Sunday I'll have, if Saturday's fine and I don't get any crazy headache or whatever, I'll then have none on Sunday. If I do have like bad headache or whatever on Saturday, then I'll just have 1 on Sunday and then none on Monday, and I think I'm going to stop for a while. Don't think there's anything inherently wrong with caffeine and energy drinks and stuff, but you don't want to have a baseline caffeine need, if you like, up here. I'd rather bring it back down. My sleep always does improve as well, and to be fair, my sleep has not been bad, but then I've been taking depressants, so it will make a difference. Right, that was a neighbour just walking past. Terrible. So, I obviously did not hit the rep range on that, which is not ideal. But it is what it is. And this training block, I think I said about it the other day, is just getting back into the swing of things. So it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect. I'll just gradually progress. So I've written the baseline and the basic approach for progression, but change things as and when needed, just the same as I do for my athletes. Right, close grip bench. So although I'm changing the exercise, I'm not changing the rep scheme for the swappage. Obviously I just changed that rep scheme because I suck at pull-ups now. So now it's going to be 2 sets of 6. So feet further out in front. I like to have my legs a bit more relaxed on the close grip because I'm not trying to hit like big close grip numbers, I'm trying to use it to hit my arms more directly. That's it. Nothing crazy. I very nearly just spent $1,000 on a camera, and I talked to a friend and he very kindly pointed out what a stupid waste of money that would be. So obviously I film some of these training sessions. There's this slight inconvenience of when I'm filming, it means that I can't use my phone. So on my phone I have my app, which is where I log my training and stuff, and it's so much more useful to have it on me whilst I'm training. Also, if I want to look back at sets and stuff, I can, but I can't do that whilst I'm still filming. Well, I can, but then I'd have to edit this. I prefer to just leave it rolling, so it's less friction basically. But the other plan is to start doing more sit-down videos, going through various different topics, because now I'm purely working online. So to try and help more people, we're getting stronger. So I was thinking of getting another camera. But he pointed out that I need to spend more than basically the same price as that phone, which I'm filming on, just for a camera, when I have a perfectly good phone camera right there. And it's just for the inconvenience of having a second phone, which I've got. It's plugged in the back, but the battery on it is so bad, you can either listen to music or do other things on it. So I can't log my training on it whilst I've got music on. Part of the reason for the music, to be honest, when I'm training I don't really care, but it's for the background of this video. Otherwise it'd just be silence or me grunting or whatever, which is fine, but I think it just makes this a bit easier to watch. And I do look back at these, so I've been recently looking back through my training videos, trying to see any complaints I had about my quads, quad pain, knee pain, stuff like that. I found a few instances of it, but it's from a while ago, a long while before the accident. I'm just trying to see if there's a pattern. Obviously I don't want it to happen again. Anyway, see how this is for 6. they were really good until that very last very last rep. Real nice and controlled. In the very last rep, I felt like I got to the bottom and kind of just dropped it a little bit. So I'm going to stick with that weight. It's a nice weight. Yeah, and then that'll be it. Then we do some Jefferson curls, and that's it for the day. So yeah, talking head videos. Basically, there's like a whole process that's involved, and so at the minute I'm torn between a few different things. So hiring a video editor, hiring a videographer, or just taking the time to do it myself and hiring someone to do other things. Because I do like doing it, but I'm not the best I'm not going to get the best in the world, but like I'm not incredible at it, and so it'd probably be more time and money efficient to pay somebody to do it. So that's one thought process on it. The idea will basically be, so I've got my one-to-one super premium ultra platinum members who I talk to, like, so we have calls weekly. It's like a lot of detail. So I only have like 3 or 4 at any one time. It's also expensive, to be fair. I then have my like normal one-to-one. So the difference with that is we don't have like phone calls, video calls, but we do have communication every day. So 3, 4, 5 times a day, replying to messages and stuff like that. Obviously writing their programs, checking technique, whatever. There's then the group chat for all of these members. Keep on top of that, technique reviews and stuff. Then I have the app. So with the app, you not only get the app with the training programs inside of it, but you also get access to the members area, which everyone has access to of all of these tiers. In the members area, there's technique reviews, Q&As, and modules, like education. That I'm steadily growing. So at the minute, I think there's only like 22 members in the members, in just the app and members area. There's not a right lot, but what it means is they're all getting quite a good level of service because there's not many of them. So for the time it takes, I can help a lot of them quite fast. But eventually, the plan is to try and scale that more to help more people get unreasonably strong. So at the minute, I've got a 28-day free trial on for that. So that means that people can come in, get a program that's written for them, that then gets added to the app. And then if they want to leave, they can leave before the end of the 28 days. They've got their program, happy days, there's a program written for somebody else. Anyway, so the way that everything else is going to work is, so we take one central theme for the week, that then goes into everything. So I'll just do this set and I'll explain. That was better. So that was miles better. So I've already been doing this to a small extent. So I've been doing it on Instagram, and in the last 6 months, I've gone from about 1,000 followers to about 5,000. So it's working from that perspective. I think the impressions, it's either impressions or views or accounts reached or something. It's at like about 2.5 million a month now. So that's just gone like that. So I know that this works. It's just applying it to everything else. So basically, what I will do, just looking at what else I've got. So each week, have one core topic. That topic will come from my members. So whatever they want to know. So for example, let's pick something super specific. Why use a close grip bench press as an accessory for your bench, for example? That one question becomes the topic. So obviously I'll answer the other questions and stuff, but that becomes a topic for this like deeper dive. So step 1 is I take that, I then answer it quickly one word answer. I then flesh that out, turn that into, say, like an email or something. I then turn that, well, no, I'm saying it the wrong way around, to be fair. So basically I take that concept, write everything I know about it, everything I can think about, pull together the research and stuff I can find to support the things I'm saying or refute them. That together becomes one article. That article then becomes YouTube video. That article then gets shortened down to become Twitter tweets, and emails. It then gets repurposed into shorter videos for Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Facebook and whatever. And basically that one thing goes across all of them. When that's all done, I then come back to that same topic. I have all this information. I have all the input, because when you put it out there, people have stuff to say. People have opinions on everything. I then look through that, see what things people have said, see if there's any valid criticisms, arguments, extra points, things I haven't thought about, or stuff like that. Take that information, go back to the original, see if there's anything to update, modify, anything that I've got wrong or could be wrong, or things that could be better. Then take that, I then extrapolate that to become a module for the members that's in much more detail and more specific to their needs. So then you have like a full spectrum for that one specific thing. It doesn't sound like just doing one thing a week. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it is if you do it properly. But then over the course of a year, instead of having, say you do one of those a day, and each one of them is like vague, not really a lot of detail, you'll have 360 something terrible pieces of content, pieces of information that aren't actually that helpful. People aren't going to refer back to them. They're not going to be helpful in 3 years' time. Whereas if I do it this way, I'll have 52 of them. They'll all be high quality, they'll all be useful, they'll all be resources that people can use and actually help people more long term. And then the next layer of that is, I'm working, I'll tell you, it doesn't matter. I'm building an AI chatbot, basically. I say I'm building, there's not really much building that I need to do, where you can essentially talk to that and it will give you the answers based on the things that I've told it. So it's not just like GPT's response, it will be, your question is X, here are the answers. What format do you want it? Written, audio, visual, blah, blah, blah. You choose, you get the answers. This will only be in the members area, obviously. So that means that whenever someone has a question, they ask the question, they get the answer. If the answer isn't available, it will then tell me. Say we've got 1,000 members, when people start, the first question might be, it says that I can choose an optional accessory of either close grip bench press or close grip press ups, for argument's sake. How do I know which one to choose? First time someone asks it, it's not been asked before. It goes through that whole process, then that's been made. Next time someone asks it, they get the answer. Next time someone asks it, they get the answer. So then that question is finished. Obviously there's a review process and stuff, but basically just to make it as easy as possible for people so that I'm not answering that same basic question every day, and instead I can answer the new questions that are further on and are more nuanced, because the basic stuff, like when you know the answer, but there's more nuanced things. So like, why might you, here's one that seems simple, but it can be more complex. Why would you bench 3 days a week instead of 2? Loads of reasons why, but also there's loads of positives, but there's also negatives. Why wouldn't you bench 3 days instead of 2? As a very complex is not the right answer, complicated answer, because there's so many variables and so many different things, but there is a more right answer. There isn't a right or wrong, but there is a more correct answer depending on the situation. But you can't build out that, you can't just give a yes or no without the extra context. So that's why you need to have everything else built out as a base. Anyway, I've gone massively off topic. Next up, 2 sets of Jefferson curls. Nice and easy. So if you don't know about Jefferson curls, have you been living under a rock? But basically, they're deadlifts with bad technique. It's the easiest way of thinking about it. No, they're just training spinal extension from flexion. People get this wrong. You're not training spinal flexion by doing this. You're doing spinal flexion. Spinal flexion is bending your spine. You're not training the act of flexing your spine under load, you're training the opposite, you're training extension. Anyway, that's just semantics. I have long arms, so I'm going to do it from a deficit. Not that tall. I did that with a hook grip, just because I've not hook gripped anything in ages, and that was uncomfortable, to be honest. So that probably is a good reason to do it. Right. So after this, I've got my cardio to do, which I'm not going to bother recording. I'm going to just see if I can do it on the bike. See if I can, like, I know I can. It'll be how intense I can actually make it. So that'll be good. And then tea time. I'm having smoked salmon and eggs on some kind of bread product. I don't know what we've got. Bagels, possibly. I have no idea. Today's food has been pretty decent. So, only 3 meals. First meal was I had potatoes. I had carrots, possibly. I think a bird just flew into there. Potatoes, carrots, and I got basically like a chunk of mince inside of it. Was like, what sauce was it? It was basically sauce inside of it, and then it was wrapped in bacon. That was pretty good. It's like 1,500 calories or something for that meal. Then second lunch, I had bodybuilder meal: chicken, rice, mixed veg, barbecue sauce, and kefir. That was it. So then I probably still have a bunch of carbs left, so I'll probably have some fruit. I haven't had any fruit today. And then that 10 grams of carbs, 10 grams of protein thing. Not too bad. I put up a post the other day on Instagram, or on stories, asking if anybody is a bodybuilding coach or knows one. Basically, I wanted to ask, get someone to have a look who knows about bodybuilding, a look at me, and like, your weaknesses are this, this and this, so that whilst I'm rehabbing, I've got other things to focus on. if I did want to transition and do some bodybuilding, the basic consensus that I got, a few people that had replied, lats, biceps, be less fat. Yeah, that's fair. So I mean, I'm already starting to do some back. I'm already doing back work anyway. But I don't think this block I'm going to spend any time thinking about it too much. Remember next block or the block after I'll do more back and bicep work. I don't know. Anyway, I need to do a thumbnail for today. I'll just do this one. This one always works. I always get more people click on the videos. Hang on, if I do this as well, show the scars. This gets more people to click. There we go. Almost a bodybuilder. Maybe just walk past again. Right, that's really it for today. I'll see you in 2 days' time, maybe. Bye bye.